Written and directed by Tommy Wirkola, who directed What Happened to Monday and was a writer on Over Your Dead Body starring Samara Weaving, Jason Segel, and many more. Thrash is a new shark thriller that, is something to be desired, and we're gonna get into it, so let's do it. What is up, everyone? Here once again. So I'm not gonna lie to you, this is gonna be short, sweet, to the point, because man, was I kind of pissed watching this. I am not gonna lie to you. We have Phoebe Dynevor, love her. Whitney Peak, great actress. Djimon Hounsou, one of the best actors that people have seen, and I don't understand why this man isn't talked about more, why he isn't way up there with all the other actors that people talk about, because Djimon Hounsou is such a phenomenal actor, and I love that man. And all three of these people are in this film, and this is... oh my god. Okay, so the basic synopsis of this movie is there is a Category 5 hurricane that is set to hit this coastal town Annieville in South Carolina, and unfortunately it brings in these predators, aka sharks. And there is one that is unlike the rest of them, but the basic synopsis is a massive hurricane that brings in a ton of water to this coastal town. A lot of people didn't evacuate, which, I mean, there were no scenes of any evacuation trucks or anything really at all, so that's already one thing. It brings in a ton of sharks. Yeah. So Phoebe Dynevor, she plays Lisa, a pregnant woman, and for some reason, this pregnant woman, who is very, very far along, mind you, had no instance or inclination to get out of town, no nothing, nobody with her, which I can believe that part. A single mom trying to make it, doing her thing, fine. FaceTiming her mom, okay. Nobody is really trying to get her out of there or help, okay. Whitney Peak plays Dakota, and she is this single child that is living in this house, and her uncle, who is Djimon Hounsou, plays Dr. Dale Edwards, phenomenal doctor in marine science, especially dealing with sharks. He is trying to make his way back to her. Throughout the whole movie, it just, between some of the acting and the sequences that just made no sense, once again, we have a movie that we are introduced to characters and instantly don't care about them because they are just shark fodder, to say the least. And when you see this trailer and you hear the premise of the movie, and you can kind of assume where it's going. I knew where it was going, but the way we got there and how fast things happen and people are introduced and then just thrown away like caca cheese, it just didn't make any sense to me, one. Two, I was never truly invested. There were times where I would maybe be like, oh man, because, you know, there's a shark in the water or whatever the case is. Overall, never really feared for truly anybody except for maybe Phoebe Dynevor and Whitney Peak. They gave the best performances alongside Djimon Hounsou. So, I don't know, it just didn't really land for me. There are three other characters that did an okay job, and I enjoyed watching them when they were in this film. There's Alila Brown, who played Dee, Stacey Clausen, who played Ron, and Dante Ubaldi, who played Will. There are three foster kids that lived with this gentleman and his wife, and again, they're forgettable characters because they were kind of one note, and there are these foster parents that were just absolutely horrendous. I'm sure this happens a lot more than we know or hear about, where they get money from the state and these kids are hungry as hell. They're wearing like the same clothes. They're going out and swinging from trees and landing in the water that's been raining, you know, the hurricane water, and they're just, you know, doing their thing. They're staying out of trouble, but still. These parents have like steaks in the fridge in the basement, and they have guns down there and all this other stuff. So obviously they're stockpiling, and they're telling them to not go in the basement, and it's just horrendous. Like, these people suck. But these three foster kids, they really go through it, and I will say, like, I did enjoy having that little dynamic in this film, even though overall I did not really like the film that much. These three kids and how they handled being surrounded by sharks, again, a little bit unbelievable, but with this whole film and the entire premise, it was a great premise, don't get me wrong. Let's hold on a second. The premise was good. I like the idea of there being a hurricane, especially a Category 5 with a coastal town. You can do a lot with that. And having these sharks come in, oh man, that's great, because I mean, it could happen. But just what happens and how many times some of these people get hacked up by a shark. I'm sorry, I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of things about people getting hacked by a shark, and they ain't coming back and making stupid little jokes, and they ain't coming back and saying like, oh, why didn't you help me? No, what are you talking about? I'm sorry, if it's a shark with all them jagged teeth, you're not coming back. What is this? There's so many instances where people are getting hacked by these sharks, and they're there, and it's like, what are we doing here? What were we in the idea room and said, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have homeboy get his butt cheek bitten off, and then have this other thing happen, and this other thing happen. But guess what? He's still alive and well, and he's still making jokes, and he's still doing this. No, just no. Adam Dunn is in this, and he plays Harbor Master Greg Wilson, and he also plays Nigel in The Fall Guy, one of my favorite movies ever, honestly. It's such a beautiful film, and stunt guys deserve a lot more praise and adoration, but we'll get to that in another video. But yeah, guys, there's not really much to say about this. This is just a one-note film about a Category 5 hurricane that hit this small coastal town. Barely any evacuations, a lot of deaths, which I mean is very possible and plausible, and it's happened in real life where people just decide, I want to stay with my stuff, I want to stay with my home, and it really does make me sad when I see like some people, like older people, younger people, whoever, and they just stay and they die, you know, from not evacuating, and it sucks. In this film, we don't really see much of like evacuating or anybody really prepping or anything at all. Like it just doesn't make sense why things are happening in this film. While Phoebe Dynevor and Whitney Peak and Djimon Hounsou did give decent performances, I feel like the writing was just a little bit lackluster behind all of these characters, including the 3 foster kids. A lot of it could have been done a lot better, and obviously I'm not a filmmaker, nor am I a film writer, so this is just my personal opinion, and I'm not saying that the director and writer is terrible at what they do. No, that is not anything I'm saying. I'm just saying that this could have been fleshed out a little bit better. This particular thing just wasn't very well done, and I personally did not enjoy this film as much as I really wanted to, because I like films like this where there's like this looming threat, like a shark or anything like that. It's cool to me. But man, I will probably not watch this ever again. My girlfriend Jen and I, we finished the movie and we were like, what the hell was that? Just did not land for me. It was not there. Didn't really make sense. A lot of the performances, while good, as I said, the writing behind them just wasn't great. Certain things going on throughout the film, the attacks of the sharks, the pregnant woman, which there's even that later in the film, and being in the water, and oh my god, so much. There's just so much. And I mean, I might do a whole spoiler review on this so I can truly talk about everything, because man, it just made me mad how so many things happened in this film, and it's just like little to no consequences whatsoever, or people got massive consequences for no reason, and it just, yeah, this movie was just not great, and I will probably never, ever, forever, never watch it again. So thank you guys for joining me for that review / rant. I appreciate it. Once again, please leave a like and a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until the next one.